Hey everyone, welcome back to MLworks. In this video, we'll be continuing with our series on machine learning operations with Apache Airflow. So in the past three videos, we have started off with basics of Airflow and then we moved towards ML pipeline where we started off with the data ingestion phase and then we moved towards model training. So as part of this video, we'll be discussing about MLflow Tracking where we'll be focusing on experiment tracking and model registry. So for the setup part, I have already showed you how to set this up in the first video. You can go ahead and watch that video to set up the environment. And once you are done with that, then you can go ahead and run this experiment as well. Okay, so let us jump into the tutorial here. So this is the file we are interested in. So the concepts that we'll be covering as part of this video includes MLflow Tracking, where we'll be logging the parameters, metrics and artifacts. And then comes our model registry for registering and staging the models to different environments. For instance, if you have dev prod environment, then you will be staging those models based on the performance to these environments. And then comes our Airflow and MLflow integration, and then we'll be comparing the runs with the help of MLflow UI. Now coming to the prerequisite, so first we have to ensure that our MLflow server is running, then only we can log the parameters to MLflow UI or MLflow server. First we have to ensure that our MLflow server is up and running. And once that is done, then we can go ahead and run the DAG as mentioned here with the help of this command. So now coming to the core code or the core implementation of the script, there are around 200 plus lines of code. So I'll be quickly walking through all the key concepts that the code covers. So the first step is to import all the necessary packages. So first we have the Python utilities here. Then we have these two packages, which is NumPy and Pandas for handling the data. Then we make use of joblib for saving the model, and also if you want to save the scalar function, that also can be done with the help of joblib. Then we have our MLflow, which is used for tracking the experiment and registering the model. So we'll be making use of MLflow here. And then we have all these different modules for training the model and then finding the error between the ground truth and the estimated value. And then we have scalar for scaling the data. And then we also have train test split for splitting the data set. And finally, we have modules from Airflow, which is used for creating a DAG. And then we also have task for turning your Python function into a Airflow task. So once you have imported all these necessary packages, then we start with our logger, which is used for logging the information as you execute the script. And then we have our basic configuration, which is like where the files will be stored, where is our MLflow server is running. Okay, so we are mentioning all those details here. Then we mention the experiment name, which is the housing price prediction, and what is the features and the target for our machine learning model is. And then we have our default arguments, which is used for which is applied across all the tasks in our DAG. So we have owner, which is MLOps learner, retries is 1, retry delay is 5 minutes. So once you have set the basic configuration, we start off with our setup for MLflow. So the first thing that we have to set for MLflow is the tracking URI, which is nothing but your localhost 5000. And then comes your set experiment, which is the experiment name. So this function will be called initially such that we can set up the MLflow. Then comes our get data function, which will read the file which we have stored in the previous videos, which is this house_clean.parquet file, which contains the necessary features and target. So from this df, which is the data frame, we take our feature columns and target columns and get our train test split, which is basically your data set for training the model. So next comes our task for Airflow. So we transform our Python function into DAGs task with the help of task decorator, where we mention the task ID as run ridge experiment. So we'll be running ridge regression on top of our house price data set. So as part of this function call, what we do is first we set up the MLflow and then we make the call to the get data, where we'll be getting our train test split. Once you get that, then we'll be performing the scaling on top of the data set with the help of standard scaler. Once that is done, then we have some parameters that we want to log. So we'll be setting alpha as 1.0 and model type as ridge. And this is our declaration of model here. So this will be your model, and then comes our MLflow.start run. So we'll be start logging our parameters, metrics and model with the help of this specific context manager, which is MLflow.start run, which will be running as run. And you'll be having model.fit first, and you'll be training the model here, and then you'll be predicting on the test data set. You will be calculating the metrics here. You will be logging the parameters with the help of MLflow.log params, and then you have log underscore metrics, with the help of which will be logging the metrics. So metrics are nothing but your MAE, RMSE, R square, and param is nothing but your alpha model type. So these are your params. So finally, once you have your parameters and metrics logged, you have your log model, which is used for logging the model itself. Since this is an sklearn based model, we'll be making use of MLflow.sklearn to log the model. So once this is done, then we'll be returning the run ID and the model and corresponding metrics. Once this is done, then we create a task for our random forest experiment. This is similar to what we have done earlier as well. So first make call to the MLflow setup, then get the train test split. Then we have a bunch of parameters for our model which are set here. And then we make a call to the random forest regressor. So once we have initialized our model here, we start our MLflow.start run. So under which we'll be first training the model, then we'll predict on the test data set, then we'll be having our metrics calculated here. Once that is done, then we have log params, which is used for logging the parameter to MLflow environment. Then comes log metrics, which I discussed earlier as well. Then we have our sklearn.log model for logging the model under the name housing price predictor. And then we have some features which we want to store as part of artifact. So we take the features here based on the importance score, and that will be stored as the specific .json, and that will be dumped here. And that will be then finally stored as an artifact with the help of this path. So this is how you can also store the feature importance as part of some JSON file into your MLflow as a part of artifact. Again, here we return a run ID, model name and the metrics corresponding for this model. And similarly, then we have our gradient boosting experiment, where we'll be again setting up the MLflow, followed by getting the data set of parameters for this specific model. Then we have our model initialization here, and then finally we start with our MLflow run. So again, we first make the training prediction on the test data set. We calculate the metrics with the help of the prediction and the test y test. Once that is done, then we have our log params, log metrics and log model for logging the parameters into our MLflow, logging the metrics into MLflow, and then finally logging the model into MLflow. And finally we'll return our dictionary, which contains the same set of information, which is run ID, gradient boosting, and then we have our metrics for this specific run or this specific experiment. And then finally we have our compare and promote. So what this will do is it will take all the metrics coming from ridge regression, random forest and gradient boosting. It will take all the metrics. It will compare the results based on certain metrics, and it will be promoting that specific model as our staging model. So we take all the metrics here, which are your candidates, and we find the maximum value for the R square, which is one of the metrics that we get from all these three experiments. So once you get that, you will be then creating your marker here, which is nothing but who is the winner. Okay, once you do that, you will be setting your best model if not equal to ridge. Okay, then we'll be going through this specific path. We'll be creating our client, which is the MLflow tracking.mlflow client. With the help of this, we'll be getting the latest version of our model, and if the version is existing, then we'll be taking the latest version and we'll be transitioning it into the staging level or promoting it to the staging level, and we'll be logging that as an information here. So once you have done that, we have a DAG definition. So here we describe all the information related to our DAG. which is the DAG ID, description, what is the default argument. The schedule interval is set as none, which means that you will be manually triggering this DAG. And then we set the start date as 2024-1-1. Catch up is set as false. DAG is this one for this specific DAG. Then we make a call to all these three different experiments, and finally we compare the results from all these three functions. So we'll be having three tasks running in parallel, and then we'll be getting the results from all these three functions or your task, and then we'll be comparing the results, and then we'll be promoting the model based on that result. So now let us get into the execution part. So first let us go to the terminal where we can switch to the virtual environment and run the DAG and as well as the MLflow server. So first let me switch to MLOps Airflow, then switch on the virtual environment, which is MLOps Airflow, bin activate. And once this is done, just go here, go to the readme document and then copy this command. This will set up our Airflow locally. So once this is done, let me open another terminal here, switch to MLOps Airflow, source MLOps, bin activate, open another terminal where we want to run the MLflow server. So here I'll be again going back to MLOps Airflow, source MLOps Airflow, bin activate. So this is also executed. This is ongoing. Let me open another one. So here again MLOps Airflow, bin not here, source MLOps Airflow, bin activate. Yep. So first here, this got executed. Here I'll be running the Airflow web server, where I'll be saying that on port number 8080, I want to run the MLflow platform, and the host user will be admin. If you see here, right, as part of this command, we say that username is admin, password is admin. Now here, once this is executed, we can run the Airflow web server on port 8080. Then we have to run Airflow scheduler, and here then we have to run MLflow server, which is on port 5000. So once this is up and running, now let us run the Airflow scheduler, and then we have to run the MLflow server. So this is also running, scheduler is running, MLflow is running. Now we have to run the DAG. So if I just go to that script again, tutorial 4, at the top I have that script name along with the command, right? Here we have. So before we run this, let me just take this command and copy it from here, because this is where we mentioned where we can find the DAGs. Okay, so let me run this first, and then go to the tutorial 4, copy this command, minimize this, let's run it. Now while we are running our Airflow, let me go to the browser here and type in localhost. Let's wait for the Chrome to open. So if you see here, it has started running the task, and it is showing some information here. So experiment with name house price prediction does not exist. So it is creating a new experiment with the name house price prediction. And let us wait for it to run. And we are also waiting for the Chrome to open. Now let me go here and type in localhost 8080. We'll see our Airflow coming up, and I'll also open localhost 5000 where I'll have MLflow server. So inside this we can go and sign in with admin as a command. So since it is taking the cached value for login, so we are not seeing anything. And if you see here, it executed and it is in running state for this specific run that we are doing. Okay, it is executing and we are seeing the results here. It's in the running state. It will be moving to success state once it is executed. And here we have our MLflow. So here we have our experiment, which is housing price prediction, which took around 1 minute for random forest 1 minute ago, and then 8 seconds ago this one, and 6 seconds ago gradient boosting. So if I just go inside each, we'll be seeing all the params and the metrics that we have set for this specific experiment. We'll see the model metrics, and we'll also see the artifacts here. Now this is for gradient boosting, ridge regression. We have the same set of details. We have the metrics and the parameter, and model metrics is here, artifact is stored here, and random forest. Now if I just go here and click the chart, you will see that we have R square value, which is high for both these two. It is 0.998 for gradient boosting, and here it is 0.9968 random forest. So R square value for gradient boosting is high compared to other two. Now if I just go to model section, here we can see our housing price prediction registered models. We can see here, if I just go inside, you can see we have version 1 there. We don't have any staging done or for the model. So here we have random forest. If I just go here, we have version 2, which is gradient boosting. What happens, right? If I go to the script, you will see at the bottom we have this function for compare and promote. So here what we do is, first we'll be taking the max of these three metrics coming from ridge, random forest and gradient boosting based on the value of R square. And then we'll be moving it to staging based on that max value. Since our max value is high for gradient boosting here, which is 0.998, that's why it moved to staging here. So it has been promoted. So if you are making use of this experiment version 2, it will be using the gradient boosting model for performing the prediction. Okay, it will skip random forest. It won't look into the ridge regression. It will look for gradient boosting and it will be performing the prediction. Now coming to the DAG here, we executed this one. Let me refresh this. So it got succeeded. Now let me click this. Here we can view the graph where we can notice that we have three experiments running in parallel. One is random forest, gradient boosting and ridge regression. And this is the fan out strategy, and we fan in and we compare and promote the model. Okay, this is that part. You can check other things here, and code we can look at here. Then we have audit logs. Run duration is mentioned here, where we can see all these details that has shown here. And this is the execution date. Go to the DAGs, you can see cluster activity, all this information will be present here, and this is where we can see DAG runs. This is for tutorial 4 MLflow tracking. Now let us go to the IDE and let us see here. So if I go to the README document, and if I go to the README document here, we can see that what we have covered is, for this specific task, MLflow tracking, we are able to see the experiment tracking on MLflow UI, and then we have our model registry also done, and we can compare based on the specific value here. With the help of this chart, we can see what is the error between ground truth and estimated value. We can see that error across MEE, RMSE and R square, and based on which we can understand which specific model is working better. So with this, I'll be concluding this video. In the next video, we'll be discussing about hyperparameter tuning, where we'll be making use of tool like Optuna for understanding how to perform hyperparameter tuning, and we'll also discuss about pruning and MLflow integration again. So with that, we'll see you in the next. Thank you for watching.